So it's that time of year again. The time of year when you start getting excess of your fruits and vegetables. Now we're quite lucky because we're actually able to harvest and pick up an awful lot of apples. Now some of these are eating, some of them are definitely for cooking. I use them both in cooking. Now I can't tell you what the variety is, but we're able to get absolute bag loads of these types of apples. So there'll be some recipes with these coming very soon. But today I'm going to use them in this recipe I'm going to do today, which is a good basic chutney. Chutneys are something that don't need to be canned and they are completely shelf stable. Last up to a year, can even last even longer, but they're best tasting within the year. Now they can mature over time, even after that year, but sometimes the coloration goes and they don't always look the best. So it just depends what type of person you are, but it's best to use within a year. But they do need several months to mature, up to about 4 months before you even taste this chutney. Now this is a very simple dice, throw in the pan, add your spice mix into a little bag and leave it be for several hours. But what you'll get is 10 to 11 jars full of beautiful tasting chutney. What we need, very simple recipe, kilo of courgettes, a kilo of green tomatoes, which at the moment we have a lot of, 500 grams of chopped onion, again this is from the plot, 500 grams of your apples, 500 grams of sultanas, which unfortunately today I don't have, so I'm going to make do without them. 500 grams of brown sugar. The brown sugar gives it a beautiful richness of flavour, and I've had to split it between dark brown sugar and light because I didn't have enough of either. 600 ml of cider vinegar or white wine vinegar. Now again, I don't have any of that today, but I need to use what I've got going, otherwise I'm going to be inundated quite soon and I'm not going to get a chance to go and actually buy any extra vinegars or anything else. So I'm using 600 ml of red wine vinegar. It's a little bit stronger and I'm hoping that this will actually work quite well within this recipe. You can also add a pinch of chili flake too, and at the moment we have got plenty of chili flakes from our chili harvest. For your spice bag, a teaspoon of coriander seeds, 2 teaspoons of black peppercorns, 12 cloves and 50 grams of fresh ginger root, which you bruise by giving it a little bit of a bash. And that will go into your little square or your netting or any way of holding on to those spices, because they don't directly stay in the jars. They're just to flavour your chutney. Now the first job you've got to do, the downside to making chutney, is all these need to be peeled and diced to very small amounts. Now you don't want to do it in the food processor because it will turn really gloopy and not very pleasant at all. So the first job I'm going to do, start peeling and chopping all my vegetables. And you want them quite small. I'm not going to lie, this takes time. But you can see it's bite-sized pieces. Because the tomatoes and the courgette and the apple, well, the apple may, but the rest doesn't really cook down too much. Now, before we do anything else on that one, I'm just going to pop that to the side for a minute. And we just need to prep our spices. Now, we just need to bruise some ginger. Don't do it like this, very dangerous. And it's 50 grams of ginger. I can't find my little wooden mallet, and that's just gone right up my nose. Wow. That's very strong ginger. Use a hammer, guys, or even bash it in the muslin. also need 2 teaspoons of peppercorns, which are going into here as well. I seem to be short of a few ingredients, and I haven't got my coriander seed. I haven't got my 12 cloves either, but I have got them already ground. So for this bag, I'm just going to put the ginger and the peppercorns in. Now, you can normally just tie it up with a bit of string, but again, I'm out of string. There's a running theme here that I really need to get organised with my shopping and make sure that I've got everything in. But at this time of year, when you're starting to get harvests thick and fast, you need to make use of them while they're still fresh. Leaving them too long can just ruin the whole of the produce. With that bag, you're just going to pop it into here and it will just cook and infuse. Now, I don't mind ground coriander and ground clove, but I'm not going to put too much in. I'm just going to put half a teaspoon and a quarter of a teaspoon of clove. Because I'm not a massive fan of clove, but it does give a little bit of heat to it. Into that, add your sugar. I'm just going to spread that out a little bit. And then 600 ml of your cider vinegar. Now, the recipe calls for white, either apple cider vinegar or white cider vinegar. Again, I haven't got it, but I'm not going to put it on hold. Now that's 500 ml. Now I have got some white vinegar, which I'm going to put an extra 100 ml in of that, give or take, and I'll let you know if it actually works. Now all you're going to do is just give it a little bit of a stir. Oh, the smell. I don't know why, I think it's because of the cloves. It just reminds me of Christmas, which to be honest is about the same time as when this chutney is actually ready. And I think these, if they taste good, which I'm sure they will make the perfect Christmas presents. Little gifts of homemade gifts. Okay, so all we need to do with this now is put it onto the stove, and we need to have it on low. We need to let it simmer for about 2.5 to 3 hours, even a little bit more. You'll know when it's ready because it will be really glossy and beautiful. You don't have to watch it for the whole of that time. You can just walk away from it. Just check it every so often. When it's ready, you'll know when you pull a wooden spoon through it and it will leave a clear path behind it. That's when you know it's got to the perfect consistency. I'm going to go and get this on the hob and we'll come back to it after it's finished cooking. Now, a bit closer to the time of when it's ready, you can start prepping your jars. Now, I'm using these little jars, little hexagonal jars. These are great for chutneys. And they also, in general, have a vinegar-proof lid, which will stop it going rusty. These are fantastic for your chutneys and your jams. Now, I've managed to get hold of quite a few of these, and I've been buying them over the last couple of years and reusing them as much as possible. Some of my slightly older ones I got to buy new lids for because they have actually started to rust. So this kind of shows the quality of some of the stuff that we buy. But it normally lasts a year or two, and I'm happy with that. Now you're going to need to sterilise these jars. Even though you don't need to water bath the chutney, you do need these being clean and germ-free. Best way to do it, either wash them through a dishwasher using a hot cycle. This should be sterilised by the end of it. So I'll wash it through the dishwasher or through some hot soapy water, and then I'll turn them upside down after rinsing and dry them in the oven on a very low heat. Now they can take anything from 10 to 20 minutes in the oven to sterilise, depending on how wet and your temperature. You don't want a hot oven though, you just want it on a low setting. This will sterilise the bottles, and any water, because they're upside down, will dissipate into your tray that you put them on. I find that this way is a much easier way of sterilising multiple jars. Another way you can do it is actually boiling them in some hot water. Now this will take about 10 minutes in the hot water to sterilise. I think it's easier to take a tray out the oven with jars on than to deal with hot water and to take the water out the jars and not get splashed or burnt. So for these, I'll be sterilising about 11, 12, maybe a little bit more jars, because I never ever sterilise enough jars. Oh, well, that was a very busy few hours. I managed to get some other little jobs done in between. It's always good if you're making chutney and doing things like that, to have other jobs to do at the same time. While you're in the kitchen, you may as well be prepping something else. Now you'll know when it's done is when you can actually run a spoon through it and it leaves a gap or a trail behind it. Now I could cook this for even longer, but I've got stuff to do. I'm going to take that bag out because we no longer need that spice bag. Now everything here has been sterilised and I've got my jars out of the oven that are still very, very hot. So I'm going to move this to this side, and we need to make sure that we're matching the temperature of the jars to the chutney as close as possible. Well, don't put hot chutney into cold jars or cold chutney into hot jars, that kind of thing. You're just going to get disaster. So these are not long out. These were washed and then left in the oven. Now these were actually in the oven for quite a while. And I'm just going to take one at a time. Now using my funnel, which doesn't fit in these small ones, which is rather annoying. I want to keep the rims as clean as possible. I'm just going to start scooping this in. Again, you want to do this hot, so everything stays far too hot for any bacteria. Now I'm going to take it to just the base of this line. I'm going to wipe the rim with a clean cloth, and I'm just going to cap it. And that's our first chutney made. Now, even though these are vinegar-proof lids, I don't want anything touching the lid because it can spoil very quickly. Chutneys and preserving is quite simple. You've just got to make sure you're using clean equipment all the way through. Clean or sterilised equipment. These will be ready from about 4 months, give or take. The longer you leave it, the better it will be. Now, if you've got air bubbles in your chutney, it's always good to give them a little bit of a bash to actually knock out. Now, if you need to, you can also use a skewer so you can actually get any major air bubbles out. So that is a very simple chutney. It's not the quickest chutney, but this really does taste great, especially as it matures. And having your own chutney on your plate through the winter months and into early spring and even up to next year, it's a great little reminder of the success stories off your allotment. I'm going to get on with the rest of these jars and I'll see you in the next video.